Hey everyone, so one of the bonuses of our saltwater fishing trips is that we get to bring lots of fish home every year. We just came back from Kanhoffen Sound where we caught lots of salmon, but our favorite species is actually the white fish that we catch from the area. These include rockfish and lingcod, and a lot of people actually don't know how to prepare them, and I've been getting quite a few requests from various people, including my co-host Kitty, wanting to know how to make it. So I do have a pretty simple recipe that I like to do at home and I want to share with you guys. So here we go. So the ingredients pretty simple. Here we have some black rockfish. So rockfish is it's a very firm muscular flesh, so it doesn't break up very easily when you pan fry it. So that's really good for this recipe that we're doing. So what we're doing today is actually a green curry soup. So that's going to be pan fried first. And the other species that we're going to cook up, it's lingcod. That's going to go in the soup as well. This one we're going to bake in the oven at a very high temperature, just kind of almost charring it before we chuck it into the soup, so it has that smoky flavor. The other ingredients that we have, it really depends on what you like, but what I like to have, it's for the base I got some green onion and some ginger, and then we got some red and yellow pepper and some carrots as well. So that's it. That's pretty simple. And the other ones you can just buy at the store. So we got some coconut milk. Make sure you get some pretty thick ones. So this one I like, it's 95% coconut extract. So it's very thick, very creamy. And the other one's just green curry paste. So my friend Pai Ling at Hotai Kitchen will probably be laughing right now because I'm buying store-bought green curry paste, but I don't really know how to make green curry paste, so that will have to do. So here we go. So those ingredients, and the actual cooking process is very, very fast. So let me show you how to do it. So like I said, the actual cooking process is really simple. So I got a nice big soup pot here. Put some oil in here. I'm just gonna wait for that to heat up a little bit before we chuck the rockfish in. So this should cook pretty fast. I have this at pretty high heat. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. It doesn't have to be fully cooked through because I mean that's gonna sit in the soup for quite a while, right? So once that's been there for a couple minutes, I'm gonna chuck the green onion and ginger in there. Okay, some salt and pepper in here. Okay, I can see the bottom is kind of getting brown, so I'm gonna start chucking the green onion and stuff in there. Smells pretty good. Okay, couple more minutes. I'm gonna chuck in some green curry paste now, and it's gonna pan fry that for a little bit more. Okay, next up, yellow and red pepper. All right, so that's been frying for a few minutes now. I'm just gonna add some hot water into it. Just a few cups. And you can add more later on if you need to. So one thing, ideally you want to put vegetable stock into that, but I totally forgot to buy it today. But water will do. We're putting so much fish into it, it should have plenty of flavor in it. So yeah, so I'm gonna let this boil, and then the next thing I'm gonna put in is the coconut milk. So in go the carrots. Okay, next up, the coconut milk. So all the ingredients are in there now. So that's gonna simmer for an hour, 2 hours. Usually an hour it's more than enough. You're gonna find the flavor's not gonna be totally right yet. So you're gonna add salt, pepper into it, sugar. We're gonna add some sugar in later on, some fish sauce as well, just to adjust the taste. As that simmer, it's gonna reduce a little bit and everything's gonna come together pretty well by the end, hopefully anyways. Next up, we're gonna put the lingcod on a tray. We're gonna put some oil onto it. We're gonna season it with salt and pepper, and that goes into the oven roughly around 400 to 450 Fahrenheit, just for 10 minutes, and it will cook really fast. Lingcod it's more of it has a softer flesh, so I like to cook that in the oven rather than pan frying it because it breaks up a lot more easily than rockfish. Ooh, it's hot. So we're gonna add some fish sauce into it, just a little bit. You don't put a whole lot into it, so just add some more flavor to it. Okay, so we're gonna let this simmer for a little bit longer, but don't put your salt, pepper, and sugar into it yet, because the trick is that you want to wait until that soup has reduced, and then you put your seasoning in it. If you're adding when there's more, I guess, liquid in it, you're gonna add too much, and then once it's reduced, it'll be too salty or too sugary. So always wait until right before you're gonna eat it. That's when you add everything in. Okay, lingcod's been in there for 10 minutes. Gonna take it out. Now we're just gonna chop this up into small pieces. Now the lingcod's in here, I'm just gonna slowly break it up a little bit and just let it simmer some more. And we're almost ready. Some more sugar into it. Okay, so now the soup is ready. It's been cooking for another half an hour to an hour, and we made some jasmine rice as well. So yeah, it's ready to be served. I'm just gonna grab some rice. And you can eat the soup on its own too if you want, but I just like to have some rice with it. And we're just gonna grab some soup. There you go. Put some pepper in it. Here we go. So my green curry soup with that rockfish and lingcod. This would be a really good winter dish. In the summertime it's a little too hot, but in the wintertime when it's really cold and wet and it's a really hearty dish to have, we usually have this once every couple of weeks. And my family really enjoys it. So try a bit of soup. Not bad. It needs maybe a little more seasoning, but it's getting there. What I was telling Kitty is that this is usually pretty good on the second day once it's been cooking a little bit more. So usually we like to make a really big pot and just eat it on 2 or 3 days, and usually on the second and third day that's when everyone really enjoys it. So yeah, very, very simple recipe. As you can see, the ingredients are very simple, and we're very fortunate to be getting lingcod and rockfish every year on trips, but you can definitely buy these fish as well. But better yet, go on a guided fishing trip to catch your own, and that's probably the best way to get your fresh saltwater fish. So yeah, so if you have any other questions, please leave a comment. I'll be answering them every time, and check out the website for other recipes as well. Until next time, good luck fishing.